Alright, hi guys. I'm here about to show everybody how to field strip a Glock 17 Gen 4. So let's get started. So I have the Blackhawk Serpa duty carry holster. I keep it with a paddle on there, so it's easier to take my duty belt on and off. So I just take this out of my belt and put it up, lock it up. Anyway, so this is Glock 17 Gen 4. Yes, it does have custom stippling. The guy that I bought it for, bought it from. The guy that I bought it from did the custom stippling on it. It's got a custom stippled back strap, and obviously the other side. And then the grip right here is also stippled. I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. So it's also custom stippled here, on the side, on the back strap. And I don't know how to, there we go. Back strap, and obviously the other side, the thumb and trigger, the thumb and finger placements are also stippled to kind of help out in, slippery situations. So, in order to get your Glock out of the Blackhawk Serpa, you're going to need to pop the hood. There's a little thumb drive on the left side to pop the hood. Then there is a trigger release, so you'll pull it straight out, keeping in mind that your finger needs to be off of the trigger at all times. This is a loaded firearm, therefore I don't want anybody to get hit on accident, never come out and grab straight for the trigger, any of that business, right? So we always keep our finger straight with the slide. I know my finger is kind of crooked, but you keep your finger straight with the slide. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do to initiate this field strip, we're going to flip it over. If you're right-handed or left-handed, you just have to find where this particular button is. Right, you're going to click the button, which you can see will obviously in turn it'll release the magazine. So you pull the magazine out, right? So we have our full stack magazine. We'll set that off to the side, right? While keeping the finger off of the trigger, we're going to rack the slide once to eject the round. We'll set that off to the side, and then we're going to rack it a few more times to make sure that it's clear. I usually try to do 4 or 5 times, and then another time just to look down the barrel. Do not flip it around the other way. You're going to look down the ejection port to look down the barrel, make sure that there's not a round in there. And then this is a very important issue that I found out whenever I first started using Glocks, right? You have to pull the trigger again. Make sure that there's not a round in there. You pull the trigger until it clicks. Dink. Right? Then we're going to take the top of our hand as if we were going to rack the slide. We're going to take the top of our hand and we're going to pull it about that far. And then on each side there's these little buttons right above the trigger guard. You pull them down and release the slide. And you can see how easy that comes off after I've done that, right? So now we have the internals of the slide of the Glock. Okay. There you go. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to push on the back of this spring, pop it off. Okay. That will that will obviously expose the barrel. The barrel will slide off the end. Get focused in here. Okay, so this is all of our stuff. I'll set the holster off to the side. We have our magazine, spring, slide, barrel. Now at this point, you can take this barrel and use a Glock cleaning kit for whatever caliber you are. All the calibers are, the operation is still the same, but you have different size brushes that you have to use to clean your Glock barrel. So you would just shove that straight down in the hole. Ha ha ha. Shove that straight down in the hole and ram it in and out a couple of times. Yes, just like you're thinking. Right? And then we have the polycarbonate frame, which, there you go. Polycarbonate frame. Right? Glock is nothing without a slide. So now let's put it back together. So we have our slide. You're going to want to put this hooked in up towards the frame of the Glock, right? Therefore, this will be flat and this will be hooked. Okay? Again, this will be flat, this will be hooked, and you would obviously know that if you paid attention when you took your Glock apart, but whatever. So then we're going to take the spring. Okay? We're going to take, now not every end is going to be black. Mine just happens to be black, but you're going to want to take the more rounded edge of the two, right? You can take the more rounded edge of the two. You're going to, there's a hole right above the barrel that you just put in there. Just going to put it in the end, and then you're going to just push a little bit of pressure, push a little bit of pressure on this, to where that way it doesn't move. And a good way to tell that if you've done it the right way, that I've found, and it may not be the perfect correct way, right? Right? Okay. So then you take the end, right? You can see that there's these little track guides. You're going to match it up with these posts that are on your actual Glock. Sometimes it's a little hard to do, but you just got to make sure that you get it along there. You're going to rack the slide. Then you're going to take your magazine, right? And remember, well, actually, I need to reload this mag real quick. Got my Hydro Shocks going. Love these things. So, I usually open up my slide. There's a little release here that you can do that. But I just use mine, or I just start mine locked, right? You will take and you will load the magazine. You will give it a hit. Again, finger off the trigger. Give it a hit. Pull that slide back, and then you can also check to see if a round got in there, which obviously if the slide racked, the round would be there. We put back on the holster, the end. That, my friends, is how you field strip a Glock 17 Gen 4. The other Glocks should work the same way, no matter how large or small. Glock is very... I forget what they call that. Damn it. Versatile. Glock is very versatile in the way that they do things, and most of their weapons are the same as far as build style, and you should be able to field strip all of them, whether it's a 9mm, 45, 40, doesn't matter. So anyway, I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, please comment below.